Okay, hello everyone. I'm here with my good friend Ann Klossing, and Ann and I had the pleasure of meeting, years ago. Let's see, was to 2020?
2020.
2020. How could any of us forget that year? And
Yeah.
we were blessed to have a group form that year called Reignite Your Life. And I think all of us joined it because at that point, we sort of felt we needed to do something to reignite our life. And it was a 4-month program that was absolutely excellent. Jack Canfield and Patty Aubrey and Jocelyn Kuhn ran the program. And I met Ann there, but then we went on to another program after that called Permission Granted with Patty Aubrey. And in Permission Granted, it was just for women to grant themselves permission to do the things that they wanted to do. And Ann and I have something very important in common, in that we're both authors. And we happen to be in the same book together with Kate Butler, Women Who Shine. I saw that in Ann and said, you might want to check this out. And sure enough, she wrote a story in that along with 29 others. And I happened to be one of those. And we launched that in August 25th of 2021. Yes. And it was #1 in 24 categories on Amazon, including women in business. We were just absolutely thrilled that so many people were taking the time to read those stories and to think about how can we shine in a world that was seeming quite dark at that point in time. And then we both went on. At the time, she had been writing her own book, and I'm going to turn it over from here. But my book is a children's book, and I'm trying to build the foundation for children to understand and become aware that their thoughts are not them. And so I named it Never Mind the Monkey Mind, because I felt as a child that every thought I felt came from me. I didn't, no one had ever told me any different. And so that's my goal. It was to make people be aware, not only the children, but every adult reading it. And then there's ways, very foundational ways they can ask questions. They can help the child examine what they're thinking and feeling, and words that they can change to have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset where they think that they can't change something. And Ann has taken that same premise that I'm putting at the children's level and put it for any adult that reads a book would definitely want to read her book after this, because she is putting it at a level that builds a foundation to understand your own thoughts. So I'm going to turn this over to Ann now, because we've worked together quite a bit in the last couple years. And I really think we're kind of on the same wavelength of the importance that people understand their own thoughts.
Thank you, Denise. That was lovely words. You missed a part, though. And the part she missed is that Denise is my coach. So I took out a contract with Denise for success coaching. And I value our friendship from that. And I value just her knowledge. And with life comes experience. And we had stories that we could share together. And, well, this happened to me, then suggested doing or handling, and more so thinking a certain way to get you out of the rabbit hole. So I love what she's doing with Never Mind the Monkey Mind. And it's not just a children's book. It is also anybody can pick this book up and take something away with it. So the driving force behind my book, and I'm I've hit the top of the bell curve in writing it, and I'm on the roller coaster ride down. I am so close to being done. But the more classes I take and the more I learn, it was like, oh, I need to put this in it now, and I need to put this in it now. But our inner being knows our perfect divine timing. And every time I say I'm going to have it done by this, it's like, oh, no, you're not, because we're not done yet. So everything evolves around divine timing. And Denise's book is divine time. My book is divine time. I mean, when we're born is divine timing. When you get married, it's divine timing. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be supporting my mentor, my coach, and co-author and Women Who Shine. And I have no doubt that this book, never mind the monkey mind, is going to take off. I think she's going to sell many, many copies. And I admire her for her teaching skills that she already possessed and getting kids to understand the thought process. You're going to make such an impact for them later on in their life because they're going to be able to handle relationships better. They're going to be able to handle sexual relationships better because these are the things that, and I know I'm throwing the S word out there, but I just know what I grappled with growing up and what I was brought up with and all of the limited beliefs that you have surrounding that. So as these kids grow into their adulthood, it's going to help them in all areas of their life, work relationships, parental relationships, the love of their life relationships. And I didn't have that. Denise didn't have that. So my book is called Finding You is Finding God, Overcoming Abuse, Depression, and Fear. And my heartthrob with it is the mindset, but to take you through my life. And there was a whole lot of interesting experiences that I went through. And it is there to let people know that if you're in a depression, and I was in and out of depression for a lot of years, I am fortunate and was not diagnosed with bipolar or any, serious mental health concern. But when you're in a major clinical depression, life has a tendency to look really, really big. So what may be a molehill for someone is going to appear to the depressed a giant mountain. So it's through my own process and my own healing that I want people to not suffer and realize that you also create your own suffering by what you put in here, what you are thinking. So I really dive into the definition between a feeling, the thought, and the emotion, because they're all tied together and they happen in nanoseconds in this thing up here. So you have a brain, and that's the physical part of you. And then you have your mind that goes beyond that. And you have to understand the tangible side of it, which is your five senses, the physical things that make you feel, think a thought, and you respond to that. But then you have the intangible side of it, which is things that happened in the past, certain things that spark your memory. It might be a thought that comes in, and that's the human side of you. So you have this soul-based, infinite-based, that we have a tendency as we grow up, as we move and become separated from that. We don't listen to that voice. So the intention of my book is to help you understand all of that goes on, and then all of that which is law. And when we talk about laws, these are fundamental laws of the universe. And when you think about law, in law, well, I'm a religious person. Well, there's a difference between religion and spirituality. And that's a whole nother conversation. But that religion, you got to kind of put that off to the side. And then your spirituality is that small voice inside of you that you connect with. That's the voice that you need to listen to. And when you're depressed, you've really forgotten. You are way out of touch with that voice. So my heartthrob is to bring that back together so that you can listen to that voice. I hadn't listened to it in years, and I suffered severely for it. So I was a government employee for almost 20 years. And, where's the manual? Nobody hands you the manual to life. You come down here and your memory is wiped out completely, and no one teaches you how to live. No one teaches you how to think. So it's like, I wanted a manual. I was a government employee. If you don't know the answer, you go to the manual. And the closest thing I ever found to the manual was a book by Esther and Jerry Hicks called Ask and It Is Given. And that was the principal funding learning tool for me to bounce myself out of depression, along with acupuncture. So between the two, that book, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, these fundamental teachers out there. And Denise is a master teacher. Whether she realizes it or not, she is a master teacher. Her life experience, her ability to work with children and to see beyond what's on the surface. And she sees directly into the heart and the soul of the child. And that is a gift, my friend. That is a gift.
Thank you. I got quite emotional on a call the other day with my publisher and a lot of the other authors. When I started talking, I've been out of the classroom for 8 years, and I'm ready to go back in because I'm getting all these invites to come in with my book to the classroom. And I just absolutely melted. Because as a K-12 reading specialist and someone who's read thousands of books and then taught teachers for 10 years to teach reading, it was like the joy came back up from my soul out, and I get to go use it again. And I took that journey on purpose. I knew when I left the classroom that I wasn't done. I just didn't know what I would end up doing. And it's everything I've ever dreamt about doing. And that's why, I wanted to be some change. I wanted to see an education. I wanted a book. I couldn't figure out how was I going to, I was a state awarded teacher, and some of the things I did, how can I tell other teachers what I did that made it so successful in my classroom? And that's what these books are doing. I am series, and the next one following this will be I am taking 100% responsibility. And I mean, that is such an important thing for children to learn about how to do that. And I've got the song done. There's always going to be a song. And it's going to be really fun. And because they're going to be able to download from my website when they purchase a book, the Nevermind the Monkey Mind manual. And they're going to have me sing
manual.
There's that word.
Manual.
There's a manual. And
all about the manual.
Yes. And one of the things it has in it is me singing the song with the words there. So when you have your little book, you can just hit that little ebook and boom, you can teach the child the song. If you're, because a lot of people think I'm not very musical. Well, everybody's musical. We're born loving music and hearing the rhythms. We were programmed that way from the beginning. So, and that's why they use music so much. I can remember every commercial from when I was growing up. I don't remember what was said during the commercial, but I remember the songs. And so that's why it's music.
Yeah, the infinite doesn't care if you sing well or not. If you're off key, they're just all about you using your voice.
And children,
when you're using your voice,
children don't care if you can sing either.
No.
They just want you to sing. Yeah. They just want the connection of the two of you joyfully singing that together.
Yeah.
And I sing that song to myself when I need to say, and I thought, never mind came from, if you look up the definition of never mind, it fits. It's just, just disregard that. Just take a look at it, but say, never mind. So you just don't listen to that monkey mind. And
right.
I have bumped into so many, there's a Jay Shetty is a contributor on the Today Show. I was walking by the TV the other day and I heard Monkey Mind. I went, whoa, I got it. So I got his book, Think Like a Monk, because he's a former monk. And he has, in his introduction, he has thinking like the monkey mind, thinking like a monk. And I thought, this is not something I've made up. I did not make up the monkey mind. It's in quite a few books that I've researched. So what's going to be really fun, Ann, is I'm making some courses. I'm doing a writing course called Mastering the Monkey Mind and going from worry to wonder. And we'll be doing some mindset work and we'll be doing journaling. And then I'll have a level 2 of that where somebody wants to write. I will take them through the steps of how they can, if it's a story, if it's maybe they want to write memoirs for their grandchildren, whatever it is. So, and then I'm doing Women Speak. I'm working to be a coach in that right now, because I could talk about anything professionally, but I had really silenced my personal voice. And when I wrote it in Kate's first book, it was like, oh my gosh, people are going to know what I think. And it was like, oh no. And then as I did it, I thought, oh, but this is really making me feel really good in that I'm telling my story. And my children didn't even know that story. So it's really important that we authentically have conversations. And speaking of that, that's a movement we're doing right now with the authentic conversations with Dr. Angela Sadler Williamson and our publisher, Kate Butler, and Jack Canfield and Patty Aubrey. And that was just a PBS special. And you're going to be hearing a lot more about that. That's coming down the pike too. I'm one of the associate producers with that, and I'm helping to get this information out to everywhere we can. Because we're living in a very tumultuous time right now. There's a lot of fear.
Yes.
And the opposite of fear is love. And we've got to figure out how we're going to get back to that state of that the Creator said we have the right to. So
yes, and that's a good way to put it, Denise. Is it is your right, and that's one of the laws that I talk about is the law of free will. So it is our right to think positively, or it is our right to think negatively. So then you have to take it to that feeling level of what makes me feel good, what makes me feel better. And what I love about your work is that it's with the kids. It's such an early age, and I know I already said this, but we're just going to make our lives, the children's lives, easier. So when you're coming into this at my age, it took me a long time to develop the limited beliefs that I had. And you don't make them go away quickly either. But it is achievable, because I am not the same person that I was yesterday. I'm not the same person that I was a year ago. I'm not the same person. You're constantly evolving and changing. And when you start to understand and put everything together, life looks a whole lot happier and life looks a whole lot easier.
Well,
so it's right.
Yeah. And just for us to have these kind of conversations, up until I started doing personal development, I never had those conversations with other people.
Right.
I mean, I might have had them in my own mind, and I might have had them in my journaling, but I didn't know that there was a whole body of work out there that really could have made me so much more joyful in my life. And so I just really feel that that's my calling now as an educator. I have a Facebook page called The Educator's Edge that I felt as an educator, my self-care and my personal growth were not important, even to me, because there was nothing there to grab onto to help ground me in that. And I think we need to change that, because the work that they're doing in those classrooms is such important. That's the next generation of our leaders. So
I don't know, Denise, if you found this a challenge, but as I started coming into my own spirituality and I started coming into understanding, that we were given the right to be happy,
Mhm.
it was like I wanted to go out. I was so excited about it that I wanted to go out and tell everybody around it, wanted to tell everybody, but then at the same time, they kind of look at you because they just don't understand your happiness,
No, they don't.
nor do they want to hear about it. So there's that ebb and flow of, is it wanted? Is it not? I still find myself catching myself of, well, they need to do this. Well, that's not your job to fix people. We're here to educate them. and I just found that funny about myself. It's like, whoa, Ann, slow down.
But you're writing a book about how that happened for you. And it's going to be like your adversity that you're sharing is going to be somebody else's survival guide, because they're going to go, oh, I never thought I could do that. Oh, I never knew that existed. Oh, that makes sense.
Right.
Because we're just an infinite spiritual being having a human experience. We're not here very long. Some of us get to stay longer than others. And really a poignant time in my life came when I lost a good friend at 13. And that experience for me, she was hit with a golf ball and died from that blow to her head, an aneurysm. And my way of dealing with it, because nobody asked me about it, was to take my quote books and take my prayer books and say, okay, Lord, I guess you want me to make positive choices in my life to honor Kathy's life. And I literally did that at 13 years old. I don't know.
Which is amazing.
I don't know who I would have been had that experience not happened for me. But I prayed that day up in my room on my bed with those quote books, with those prayer books. And I really think I just received a grace to be able to have that wisdom at an age where nobody
at 13.
Nobody told.
That's incredible.
But I sought out books and quotes. I love quotes to this day. In Women Who Shine, I wrote a lot of my own in that story. And I love seeking out mentors and other people who, and anybody listening, if there's something you want to do, go find somebody who's doing it and ask them how they did it. That's what I started doing. And all of a sudden, I had all these people that were supporting me in what I would love doing. And, aren't we all here to find what we love doing and do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited. I can't wait for your book to come out, and it's going to come out when it's supposed to come out, Ann.
Exactly.
Because mine had
I know 22 is a year, 2022 is a year for it. Just don't nail me down on the month yet.
No, it's happening though. Well, thanks for coming on and celebrating with me. We've gone down a road together, and we're still on it. We'll still be on it until the day we transition back to our spirit life. But I'm just really thrilled that I've gotten to know you. Ann's on a farm in Wisconsin, and I'm on a farm in Iowa, and we get to do this. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is. I love it when Kate says that. Kate Butler, our publisher for Women Who Shine, was, you get to do this. I mean, you get to do this.
You get to do
and it is true. We do. And it's something that, I love to do. I love to help people. And, just if you have a question, I'm taking over here, Denise, but questions for Denise, questions for me, you can get me on Facebook. It's just my name, direct message me, or go to my website.
Yeah. Ann Klossing.
Go to Denise's website.
Yeah. Because we love what we do, and, it never hurts to just inquire, because you want to check out, is this something that would help me at this moment in time? And
Yeah, it goes back to our other mentor, Jack Canfield, and that advice from Jack is ask, ask, ask.
mhm,
Asking the question doesn't hurt you.
no,
It
no.
only will surprise you.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Anne. And I'm so excited that the launch is here for this book. And
I'm excited for you.
so looking forward to, I've been, getting feedback from so many people that can't wait for me to come into the classroom with the kids. And I just think that first time I walk in, it's just I'll just be able to say I'm home. So.
Yep, well, you are.
Okay.
You are.
Thanks.
So a plug for Denise, if you're looking for a success coach, she's your woman.
Well, I love doing it. It's, the first question that I'll ask you is, what would you love doing? And then I'll help you get there.
Yep.
So.
And even if you don't know it right away, you will. It just takes practice.
Yeah. Okay,
So.
Ann, thank you. We'll talk later. Bye.
Bye.